Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Hangout, or welcome back to the Hangout, whether this is your first time or you are returning. I'm Joshua Cummins, and my guest tonight, you guys may very well know, and I mean, this guy's everywhere, I think, right? He hangs out with a lot of our good friends here in streaming, and he has his own channel. He does his own things, and we're going to talk some of that tonight, certainly. But before we do, of course, he has an entire story to tell you guys, and I'm so excited to just hear about this, man. I know that I just know it's going to be a great story. I've been looking forward to it, and before we get into that, though, reminder, guys, that the Hangout is just one of many shows on Revolver Broadcasting. Now, some of you might ask, what is Revolver Broadcasting? Well, let me tell you. It's an entire network of shows for your entertainment, for your education, for your news, and for your pure joy. So if you haven't already, do make sure and follow or subscribe depending upon the platform you're viewing or listening on, right? And also make sure and visit the website, revolverbroadcasting.com. The website again is revolverbroadcasting.com. And when you do, not if, when you go to the website, you can scroll down here where it's see all these faces with the names of the shows, even the one that we're in right now, and click on that listen here tab, and boom, you can watch it directly from the website if you choose to, if you so choose to. But so fantastic. You can even go back and see all the different interviews here over time, every episode ever. You can also hover over where it says podcast at the top. See all the shows there. Just click on one of those. Same effect. Get into a carousel and view every episode of whatever show you're looking for. Also, you can check out the news chambers while you're there. See those daily devotionals written by our good friend Danny Tippett. I'd like to encourage you guys to read those and comment on those and everything. They're meant to deepen your faith and to make you think. And we want to encourage critical thinking for sure. And the deepening of faith here at Revolver Broadcasting. And speaking of faith, the prayer list is also there in the news chambers, and a lot of names and a lot of needs on this prayer list. They all need your prayer. And I'll tell you this, Darmak, I have 50 plus people a day messaging me every single day now saying prayed, because I know that they visited the website and they prayed for those folks by name.
That's great.
Yeah, absolutely. I couldn't be more delighted every single day to just see those messages come through saying prayed. And if you want prayer warriors to come pray it down, I'm telling you, fill out this email form at the bottom part of any part of our webpage, and we will get you on the prayer list as soon as possible. And you may find that after you're on the prayer list, you may not be on the prayer list very long, because that prayer request will turn to a praise report, because God will have taken care of it, man. It's been awesome to watch these emails like 1 day after or 2 days after, where these prayers are being answered. So it's so cool. But we still have, like I said, a lot of people there to pray for and pray for them by name, because we want to cultivate a culture of prayer at Revolver Broadcasting, of course. And last but not least is the shop, of course. Go over to the shop and shop like a hot shot. So many collections here. I mean, each one of these tabs here is a collection. Like, I'm wearing the Christ is King hoodie right now. So you can go and, if you want one of those, just go into that Christ is King collection, and there it is. And we also have the hats, the shirts, the mugs, stickers, the Storm is Beautiful t-shirts there. And a crowd favorite right now is our featured t-shirt. It is the family t-shirt. Happy Nuclear Family Month. So, hey, I know a lot of other people out there are celebrating something else this June, but we chose to celebrate the nuclear family, and every month technically is Nuclear Family Month. So get over there and get you guys one of those and sport it proudly. And hey, it's okay to have mom, dad, kids. It's, as a matter of fact, that's the best way. That's how the species, I don't know, keeps going.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Yep.
But yeah, I've watched those T-shirts almost as soon as they hit the market on our shop. They were starting to sell, and I was like, "Hey, all right."
That's great. Good. Yeah.
Do make sure you guys hit that like button if you haven't already. Comment. Not just in the live chat. I know some of you are going to get into the live chat, but not just in the live chat, but also want to encourage you to get in the comment section below, because I know that they say Rumble doesn't have an algorithm. Baloney. I've watched it. When people comment, it changes the game. We go further, more people watch, and I believe that a lot of people need to hear this story. So definitely blow this up, get it out there. And of course, once again, subscribe or follow, depending upon the platform you're viewing or listening on. Make sure you have the notification bells turned on so you know every time Revolver Broadcasting goes live. And share this content, because sharing is what, Darmak?
Caring. Sharing is caring.
He's so magical, folks. So magical. It's a whole lot of magic from this guy next to me. So let's get all the magic.
Yeah.
All right. Let's get into all things Darmak. I want to tell everybody here in the chat good evening real quick so that they start responding, because a lot of times I have to kick things off to get them all riled up. But yeah, let's talk about all things Darmak. So first, Jim, let's start with the warm up questions. Now I know you've seen this program before, and maybe have slightly prepared, but as I know we talked pre-show, you're like, one of those is really think about it a little bit while we're getting ready to go. But right out of the gate, let's go with what. I know this is gonna be a really hard question. What is your favorite color?
Purple.
Purple.
Love purple. I don't know why. I'd give you a reason, but I just like it. Always have.
You share that with Rez.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, he said it was he's always liked it as well, but it was he said he also liked the fact that it represented royalty. You know?
Yeah.
And it was believed that even though he had little money, that Jesus was consistently wearing purple, and because people would get the call. I don't know how true that is, but because purple was actually a very difficult color to create in cloth, and so they had to get a lot of these specialty things to make the dyes to get that. So purple is a very special color.
Yeah, definitely.
Second warm up question: what is your favorite book?
The Killer Angels by Michael Shara. It's about the Battle of Gettysburg. It's historical fiction. It's written from the perspective of different generals, and it's historically based. Yeah. But they actually go inside the person to make the story, so it's historical fiction.
Yeah,
which I find interesting. But his son wrote a few books too, but that one really gets you. I sat down and read that, couldn't put it down. So the part that jumps out at me is Little Round Top, when the people from Maine were holding the end of the line, holding the flank, and they ran out of bullets. And I'm like, oh man, they got to go. They didn't go. They fixed bayonets and charged down the hill, and they held the hill. And that I still get like goosebumps when I think about that. My first thought is I gotta go.
Yeah.
I gotta go, man. You know, I got nothing to shoot at.
Yeah.
Or I got nothing to shoot with. So
yeah. It's like, what are we gonna do? Haul rocks at them?
Yeah. And I mean, you know, and it's funny because the guy that led the charge down the hill, Joshua Chamberlain, was a college professor. So I don't know. It was crazy. They were better men for sure. Hey, Jeff.
Yeah. Hey, Jeff. How you doing, buddy?
Yeah.
Good to see you.
Yeah, they were. They were. There's
Yeah.
some good ones still. There's some good ones still. We got folks that are doing this for us now too. So our newer generations, there's parts about them that we may think differently, but we still have those folks in the military that are doing things like that for us on a daily basis, and
Mm-hmm.
we need to remember that.
Yeah, and they give their lives
Willingly.
Mm-hmm.
Which is, I mean, it's a completely volunteer army. So, yeah. But anyway, Killer Angels, pick it up and read it if you haven't. It's a great book.
Definitely, I got to add that to my audiobook list because I was discussing it with Rez. It's like it's just so much easier for someone with ADHD to just
To
let
listen.
it play. Yeah.
Yeah, to listen. Yeah. Yeah.
Because if I sit there and try to read it, I'll continue to just. I mean, you guys have seen the Bible study, or some of you have seen the Bible study. It's like if I'm reading the Bible study, let me read that again. And sometimes I'm reading it again because I just want to point it out. But a third of the time I'm reading it again because I need to. I
need to zero in on it. Yeah. Yeah, I got it.
But yeah, I'll definitely check that out. And then third warm-up question: what is your favorite movie?
So we'll talk about this a little bit later on in the show, but the movie Hoosiers.
Okay.
I lived that kind of very similar to the movie. And for those of you, Dennis Hopper was in it, and I think he was really can't remember if there was. I don't remember that there was anybody other than him that was like a huge actor or anything. But
I don't think so.
It's a basketball movie, and the little school that shouldn't be there got there and won. And so we'll talk about my story. I was fortunate enough to play with some really, really good players in high school, and we'll go through that. But Hoosiers, because of that, it reminds me of a really enjoyable time in my life. Something that I was really, really fortunate to live.
Yeah, so it's really good parallels.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I love that when you get the things that are in art and you go back and go look, look at that, look how similar that was to this part of life. Yeah, fantastic. Now what we'll do is I don't know if it's the word for it, but I use the word retrograde anyway, and and I know that at some point someone is going to come along and correct me, but I think I'm still going to use it anyway because I think it's cool.
Yeah, Jeff, fundamentals and defense, absolutely. Yeah, we didn't win with fundamentals and defense. We won with skill. We really won with skill and explosion, to be honest with you. But I wasn't very explosive, but everybody around me was.
Get the ball to that guy.
Yeah. I was a good cheerleader I was a good cheerleader off the bench. So.
Yeah, I can relate. But yeah, what I mean by retrograding is we go all the way back to baby Darmak, baby Jim, fresh out of the womb, and we start things off. And how does life go?
We're going to start off actually before the birth.
Okay.
So had my mother and father were married at 18 years old, and I believe that she was probably became pregnant on her wedding night. And so 18-year-olds aren't really most of the time ready for children. So 6 months into the pregnancy, my father left. And so she was on her own. So I was born. I've never, ever met my birth father.
Mm.
So that started off. I kind of started off in the hole there, -1, and so she, she gave birth. My grandparents helped out quite a bit, but it kind of set things up
Hmm.
to be a little bit rough in the beginning.
Yeah.
Um, Fortunately, for me, and it may not sound that way early on in our discussion, but later on it is. It's fortunate. I I had a man that married my mother about a year and a half after that, so I was about, I don't know, like 1.5 or 2, somewhere around there, and he adopted me. So
Mhm.
he took care of me my whole life, and he's my father. So he stepped in and did the right thing. I mean, I text with him every day, and he doesn't treat me any different than he treats his own blood, 2 sons.
Yeah.
So I got very fortunate there. The part that was tough is both my mother and my father had really odd slash abusive upbringings.
Mm.
So my father came back, was in Vietnam. He came back, and he was in the Navy, so he didn't see any. I mean, they shelled off the coast,
Yeah.
and they'd go to Japan and come back, and he did that for 12 months. But uh, he was a loan shark. so, so him and his buddy Snake, who I met later in life, was a loan shark. So he was kind of a dirtbag at the, at the time. And so that adopted me. Um, but I think the adoption actually saved his life. He had a malignant mole on his arm.
Mm.
And back then, I don't know. I think you probably still do now. You have to have a physical to adopt a child,
Yeah.
and it was found during the physical. And so, a 20, 21, 22-year-old guy has a mole on his arm about right here, and he's going into surgery, and he doesn't know if he's going to come out with 1 or 2 arms.
Mm.
Uh, so that was an interesting time for him, but they were able to get it without having to take the whole arm. So that was a good thing. He just had a nasty skin graft on the back of his kind of on the back of his arm. But so I guess it was lucky for him he adopted me, and long term lucky for me. So when um, as I start to remember things, um, we lived in a mobile home park in a very rural area, beautiful area. I mean, just gorgeous farmland all over the place, rolling hills in upstate New York, just a beautiful place. But um, I the I remember my grandparents and my aunt and uncle bringing over bags of groceries because we couldn't afford to eat. So my father was in an apprenticeship program as a tool and die maker, and he made no money.
Right.
Right. So
Just still working up that ladder.
yeah, absolutely. He was right at the bottom, and just trying to learn, and so my grandparents and my aunt and uncle basically fed us. Um, I remember tuna noodle casserole, cream chip beef, you know, those types of things that were very inexpensive to make, but we're filling. So
Yeah, and one delicious, by the way. Like,
yeah, I can't eat either one of them anymore because I ate so much of it. I just can't.
I have a nostalgia for those dishes.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah, my mom used to put the little pieces of garlic bread in there.
Ooh.
Yeah, she would take it was just regular toast.
Yeah.
Then she'd put butter and garlic powder on the toast, and then she'd cut that into little bitty squares like croutons in a salad.
Mm-hmm.
She'd put that in the tuna. Oh, dude.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. That's great. I can't eat it. I mean, my mother used to microwave chicken for my father for dinner. So
Yeah.
No, sorry. But anyways, so, I had, that was nice to see that extended family, to see the extended family come in and help. And, that by the way, this isn't, this is what God wanted me to experience for some reason. So that, and I think it's to make me the person who I am today. Maybe the person who has been able to help people as I've gotten older and a little bit wiser. So I don't resent any of this. Sometimes it's hard to look back on it, but I know I'm where I'm supposed to be now.
Yeah, it's kind of like what Sterling and I read the other day, talking about God puts us through adversity because the adversity creates character, character creates hope, and hope leads to salvation.
Yeah.
So
And yeah, and we'll go, and again, we'll keep going through some of this stuff, but so so that was good. I had a cousin that was like 6 months older than I was, so I had somebody that I could do some things with, and we hung out at my grandparents' place pretty much every Saturday from the time I can remember. Saturday and Sunday from the time I can remember to probably about 15 years old. So my grandparents were my I don't were my protectors. I don't know if that makes sense or not, but they were always there. I always had somebody. So they were very, very special people in my life. I pattern a lot of my behaviors after my grandfather, who I revere and think the world of. Wasn't a perfect person, of course. Nobody is,
right.
But he was good. So home life, from about, I think I started remembering about 2.5 years old. Home life was difficult. My dad working doing the apprenticeship during the day. My mom was waitressing at night. So I had to spend the evenings with my father, and he was not in really in a right mind at that age, based on the things that he'd experienced and he'd seen. And I took a beating for just stupid stuff. Like he'd stub his toe and like spank me. Or, sometimes I was bad and probably deserved it, but so I got roughed up pretty good when I was younger, and I never said anything to my mother. And I remember like specifically this one time where I was probably about 4 or 5, and he spanked me, and I looked at him and I said, "Didn't even hurt." So he waxed the heck out of me again, harder. And I looked at him, I'm like, "Didn't even hurt." And we went through that process probably about 3 more times until I'm sobbing and I'm looking at him, and he hit me again. And I said, "It didn't even hurt." And something clicked in his head, and he walked away from me. And he never, as a young child, hit me again. So, but that I was really afraid of him. And um, I know he's apologized for it. I don't think he remembers all of it, which is okay. I'm okay with that because he's been a good man to me lately or later on in life. But um, but it was very difficult. And then so I had that as a father for the first probably, from age 2.5 or 2 to probably 5. Then I had a brother that was born. I think that may have changed some things as well.
Yeah.
But when my brother was born, um, my mother had a mental breakdown, a nervous breakdown, and wound up in a hospital for, I think it was 9 weeks. So I was basically in the care of my father, who I was terrified of, and he wasn't touching me at the time or anything, but I was terrified of him because of what had happened in the past. And so grandparents tried to help out with the kids while she was recovering. My mother's parents, who I was very close to, were wonderful. My father's parents kept us for one weekend, and then didn't want anything to do with us again. So so that was difficult, and basically that's a pattern through my childhood for my mother, multiple times where she had difficulties mentally and needed to be hospitalized and
Needed a rehabilitation because she was checking out from mobility a little bit.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. So so anyways, so not a whole lot of strength or structure there. Like I said, I got it from my grandparents when I would go and see them, and my aunt and uncle were awesome too. They looked out for me. So I had God put people in my life that made it kind of bearable.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
So so I guess that's as I've learned as I've gotten older, that the time that I'm talking about is really you kind of develop your how you interact with other people. So I am, unfortunately, and I don't mean to be, somewhat cold from not all the time, but it's I don't know, it's hard to it's hard to trust people. And I've gotten past a lot of that, but a lot of the stuff early on, of the difficulties I ran into early on in my life, were kind of around trust issues and things like that.
Well, yeah, I'd say, yeah. I mean, experiencing that at a young age, and then of course the some of the things that would have caused likely caused an abandonment issues with dad,
Yeah.
And him just being, like you said, he was just young, didn't know what else to do, freaked out. But young people, I know you, and I know that you're a big man of forgiveness. So I know I can see that when you're talking about it, you're like already like that's water under the bridge, past, like you said, past this. It's like, and so yeah, I can see that. I could see that developing that for a number of years, and until you learn about it, of course, and then they're able to, once you can put a name on it, you can go, okay, that was that. And now I can
Yeah, it still impacts your core as you move along in life. But I mean, I know that that's there, so
Cognitive.
yeah, cognitively, so I can adjust for it. Um, it's funny. I still the one thing that I kind of, and this is a theme for me. I'm much better about it now. But if I think somebody slighted me, or um, you know, I guess slighted's the best word. I get, I get like stuff starts, spinning in my mind because, and we'll go into a couple other stories that'll. I wasn't the most self confident person, I guess,
Mm.
uh, going through my adolescence. Um, for a number of different reasons. Um, but the cool thing is, for back then, I played outside all day. I didn't sit in here. I didn't sit on. You know what I mean? I mean, it was a good life. It was a safe place. There was a lot of kids around, so I still had some things that I could do, and still had some good times. So that was good. Um, but we'll leave that stuff behind, and we'll talk about. We can go into, I guess maybe sixth, seventh grade, somewhere around there. I guess early teens. We went from this rural area. I lived the first like 10 years of my life in this rural area. No diversity at all. There were like two black people in the town, two black families in the town. Um, and we went from the rural area into the middle of the city, an urban area, like in one day. And so I
Oh,
went
culture shock.
culture shock. I walked into the school, and um, it was the opposite of the other school. I was like one of two white people, and I'm looking around going like, well, this is interesting. I wonder if they felt like this, when living where we lived, and so
Yeah, my friends and I, we called it. We got to experience being the 2 grains of salt in the pepper shaker, as opposed
yeah,
to the 2 grains of pepper being in the salt shaker.
yeah, yeah. So it was. I mean, that was culture shock for me, and it turned out to be a good thing. I wound up at the first magnet school ever conceived. So um, it was cool. I was in the science and technology magnet. That was the wrong one for me. I should have been in the other one because I'm a history guy, but it's okay.
Yeah,
You,
yeah, the
you know,
English history. Yeah, the
English history. Yeah,
yeah, for those who don't know, magnet is advanced placement.
yeah, yeah. So we had, we used to have a lot of visitors. Governor Mario Cuomo came and saw us on Ash Wednesday, and had the little thing on his head, and somebody said, "Governor, you got some stuff on your head." It just it was so funny, and he was cool, man. He's like, "Oh no, it's supposed to be there. It's Ash." He explained the whole thing, and what just a great guy. He seemed like to me. Of course, I was a younger kid, but he was really nice. And there were other dignitaries as well that came through, um, but I made friends pretty quick. I had some people that looked out for me, which was very very important in the situation that I was in at the time, because there were some pretty unhappy people then, as well as what we see today. But I didn't go to the bathroom by myself. Otherwise, I didn't make it out without a few bruises. So, I mean, it is what it is. It made me stronger. Um, but it was good. Like, school was great for me. I had a ton of friends. Um, I had good teachers. I played sports, so I didn't, I played sports. I wound up playing. I looked like I don't know. I had all these pins on my school jacket from. I played three sports every year at least, and like one year I kicked for football, so I played four. I played four. Um, but so it was good. It kept me busy. I was learning. It challenged me. Uh, I had good friends. I was not a very athletic kid at the time, but I grew. I kind of, and I was always small. I didn't hit puberty until I was about almost 17. So I went from like 5'4" to like 6'3", like from 16 to 17.
Wow.
Yeah.
A
So
lot of growing pains.
a lot of growing pains, man. Yeah. Um, but um, but anyway, so it was good. It was good. I'll tell you the basketball story. So um, I went out for basketball in seventh grade, and I was at this school from seventh grade. It transitioned from a middle school to a high school, so I was there from seventh grade to 12th grade. So I was very comfortable, very very comfortable there. I was the second class that ever graduated from there. So called one they call us the originals. I've been to one or two of the get-togethers that we had that they have, which was fun. But so went out for basketball seventh grade, eighth grade, ninth grade. Got cut every time.
Hmm.
Very very talented group of kids. And my ninth grade year, a bunch of them got in trouble that
Hmm.
were playing basketball, and um, so I went out again in 10th grade. I don't know why. My friends convinced me to. And the coach kept me, not because I was a good basketball player, but because I was a good kid. And so he got sick of some of the kids that he was carrying that were really, really good basketball players. But so he kept me. And quite frankly, at that point, I was the only white basketball player in the whole entire league.
Wow.
Uh, So yeah, in the city league, it was called the City Catholic League. So there were Catholic schools with it, and there were of course some kids, but in all the city schools, I was the only white basketball player. And to tell you how bad I was, um, I was a 20-20 guy. I got 20 seconds when we were up 20 points. I got 20 seconds when we were up 20 points, and I didn't play otherwise. But I enjoyed it. I was really passionate about it, and so my first year in 10th grade, we had a bunch of guys. We had a couple guys that were injured, and we had another guy that was academically ineligible.
Hmm.
So basically, we started out the season like I think it was 4-8.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So we finished the season 8-10. So we picked it up quite a bit when we got those guys back. We played the team that had won the state championship in our class was in the same city as us. So they had two like unbelievable players. Just the one guy led the NCAA in scoring a couple years after he graduated high school at Division III Buffalo, but he scored like 40 something a game. He was unbelievable. But so we played them, um, and there was a riot in the school. We were beating them. We were beating them at our place. Their fans broke down the doors at our school because we had a small gym, probably capacity of about maybe 400 or 500 people.
Oh, yeah. That is small. Yeah.
Yeah, and dude, there were 1,000 people in there. I mean, and they were all their fans in our school. And so we were beating them by 20 going into the fourth quarter. And so then all this garbage started where, like, we had one of our guys pass the ball in from out of bounds, and their fans held him out of bounds. Like, they wouldn't let him go on the court. So we were playing 4-on-5.
Oh man.
So stuff like that was happening. They came back in that environment. The referee should have stopped the game, but they came back in that environment. They were beating us by 2. One of our guys gets fouled. He goes to the line. There's a dude, like, literally in a rabbit skin coat that had like a rabbit hat, and he's standing under the basket, like, with the guy getting ready to shoot his free throws with a knife. And he's like, he goes, "You don't want to make those, man." He goes, "You don't want to make that." And so he shoots the ball, and he just barely touches the rim. Our best player grabs the rebound, goes up with a 2-hand dunk, grabs the ball, and pushes it into the guy with the knife. So then all of a sudden the crowd comes on the court.
Oh wow.
And it was just a free for all. The game ended with like 11 seconds left. And like, I'm standing there, and I'm like, I got hit a couple times. And then two of my friends that were football players, each one of them grabbed me by the arms, picked me up, and put me in a room and stood outside the door and wouldn't let anybody in. So that tells you, the friendship that kind of we had during that. And I know that's kind of a crazy story, but look up, fact check, look up Rochester, New York, fans being banned from city basketball games, and you'll see the story. So anyways, so they actually,
Turns out happens with baseball too.
yeah. So we had no fans when we played city games. We were playing in empty gyms because the superintendent stopped the schools stopped us from having fans because we had issues where there were issues with them. There were fights and all kinds of stuff. So
we're here, section 1984.
Yeah, 1984. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, 1984, Section 5. Yeah. Yeah. So it was pretty intense. But again, that was part of that was a growing experience for us. I mean, and then when we got those guys back, we're 8-10 going into the sectionals, and we're playing against teams that are like 18-0, and we're beating them by 30. I mean, we were blowing them out. We had like 6 or 7 guys that were just unbelievable. We had this one guy that his name was Mike Brown, and Mike Brown could touch the top of the backboard at 6'4".
Oh wow.
So Mike Brown used to go down the middle of the lane and just dunk on everybody. He was like a freak of nature. He's a college recruiter now. He recruits college basketball players. But
so we'd say he had some springs on him. He had some springs.
Oh man, that guy could get off the ground. You have no idea. It was I mean, he was unbelievable. And he was a good guy. But anyway, so we make it all the way through. We make it all the way through to the state championship game. Great game, playing hard, really good. And we wound up losing. So, but it was a fantastic experience. Well, we only lost one player the next year, so we went back and won.
Oh, hey!
So we went back and won, and everybody was ready for us. We didn't sneak up on anybody. But the cool thing was I got better and I started to play a little bit. So I was able to contribute in a couple of games. At like 5'4", I used to back up the 6'7" guy at center, which is ridiculous. But I used to get a ton of rebounds. I boxed out every time. I would just box them out. But
when you develop your game, it doesn't matter your size. If you develop your game far enough, you can be effective. Yeah.
Yeah. So
they never see me coming. I know when I come out on the court nowadays, they never see me coming. They say, "Oh, look at this guy, big guy, this white guy," and then I start hooping on them, and they're like, "All right, you can drain threes."
Yeah, you can drain threes.
Yeah, we got the short, chunky Larry Bird out here. It's like, just remember that next time you talk trash about me, son.
Yeah. Dump it inside, and I'll kick it back to you. So that was and then I actually had started growing at that point. So I mean that was something that was incredible to experience. I was fortunate to be a part of that, and I didn't play a whole lot, but I was part of the team, and the guys made me feel like I was part of the team, and so they told me. I mean, like I had people. I was their biggest cheerleader on the bench. You know what I mean? I'd go crazy when they do something, or I practiced harder than anybody else because I needed to get better.
Yeah,
and so I helped them get better. I remember I put our star player out for a game because I boxed him out too hard, and I gave him like a deep thigh bruise. he about wanted to kill me, but that was I earned some respect with that.
Yeah, I was saying gave him that good bounce.
I did. And boy, he went down, and I'm like, oh no, I'm in trouble. The coach is like, dude, you might as well start running now. But anyways, so that was a wonderful experience for me. I was fortunate to be able to be a part of that. And that's a family. That's still a family. I still talk to several of the guys on the team, not often. But it's like I hadn't seen some of them for like 25 years the last time I saw them. And it was like, we've been hanging out for the last 25 years. It didn't matter because we're brothers. Yeah. I mean, basically that brought us all together. You'll hear coaches say this, and it's hard, but they'll say you have to play for each other. You have to play for each other, and that sounds like something that, it's easy, but that's not how it is. A lot of times, people play for themselves, and so
everybody's a superstar nowadays. That's what, yeah.
But that group of people,
man,
that group of people that had some really, really good basketball players in it, they could have been like that, but they weren't. We were focused on a goal, and we did it together, and everybody was a part of it, and everybody needed to do their part in order for us to be there. So that was an amazing learning experience for me to be able to do that, and I'm very, very appreciative that I was allowed to be a part of that.
Well, I think that those parallels too. You talk about the style that the coach gave you, like that. That is a very Indiana basketball approach. Indiana native right here. I can verify. That's a very Indiana basketball approach is to play for each other, and to be very team. I mean, you even see it in the Indiana NBA team, the Pacers.
Mm-hmm.
It's still that's the way. Like no matter what coach has been here in Indiana, it's like this is part of Indiana. This is how it works. The team plays for each other. We have superstars, of course, but those superstars understand that it's
team. Everybody.
Yeah,
it's the team. Yeah,
everybody.
We didn't see. So we had the Hoosiers experience. We just didn't have Dennis Hopper, the drunk, coming out on the court. You know what I mean? So,
I want to say hello real quick to Miss Divinity. I seen you pop up in the chat not that long ago, and also Mr. Curtis, who's joining us if you're watching via YouTube. Welcome in.
well, welcome everybody. Yeah. So, um, so that was as you can tell, that was a great experience. Home life was rough, so I didn't go home until I'd like stay for the JV practices and so I kind of avoided being at home because it was easier for me to do that. I do have to give my parents credit. They did the right things from um, you know made me do my schoolwork, made me do my homework. If there was a problem, they were there to help me fix it. They were just kind of rough on me.
Yeah.
you know, and so, but again, I don't want to belabor that point. Did you ever see Hillbilly Elegy?
Yes.
Do you remember the scene where the mother was like losing her mind in the car
Mm-hmm.
and with the dog?
Yeah. Yeah.
That was that like literally when those scenes came on, I had to like walk out of the room. That was kind of my experience as well. Like my wife's like, "What's wrong with you?" And I'm like, this is what I dealt with.
Yeah.
And she's like, "Oh my god,
I'm too close to home.
it was." And so, but it was interesting because like I don't know. I guess my brother and I are pretty close because of all the contentious stuff in the house, but it wasn't, and it wasn't just directed at us. So my mom and dad used to get into some pretty good fights, which was obviously very uncomfortable for the rest of us. And I have two younger brothers. One is 5 years younger. Uh, that is for those of you that know Jeff from Thoughtcast. That's Jeff's father. I'm Jeff's uncle.
Shout out
And
once more to Jeff.
yeah, and then I have another one. Then I have another brother that's 10 years younger. So one of them is 6'5", the other's like 6'8". So I got hosed at 6'3". But anyway,
I can relate on that. I'm 5'10". My younger brother 6'5".
yeah, there you go. So had I had either one of their heights, I'd have played in college at least. But anyway, I'm kidding.
Well,
But
touching the top of the backboard from the ground, right?
oh, that guy, man, oof, Mike Brown, about 6'4", man. That guy that was crazy. 6'4", he could touch the top of the backboard. But so then and again, this is we go through some stuff that's not as pleasant, and I go through it to show kind of the growth and the reliance on the Lord to help me get through a lot of this stuff because as a teenager especially I went to church. I you know I was Lutheran, so probably didn't get all the best messages, but I did develop a relationship with God, and I think that's the important thing. With that, I did that. That happened probably when I was about 12 or 13. I went to a camp and um, just had kind of went out they sent us out in the woods and said, go think, go talk to God. And I did. And I felt like Biological dad's 5'6", the Italian. But anyway, so I went and I felt something, and so I've had a strong belief in God since then, and it's been very important. A very important part of my life is, I know you already know, and we'll talk a little bit more about it as we go along. But so I guess we can let's move into the college years.
Okay.
Got some other stories from the teens, but that's okay. We'll do those another time maybe. But the college years, I had been through obviously quite a bit growing up, and I was not into drugs or alcohol when I was younger, when I was in high school.
Yeah.
But boy, when I got into college, it was so prevalent that why not just join in, right? And so I had it was especially alcohol. It it numbed me for a while. Like I didn't feel bad. I didn't remember, something that happened when I
An
didn't
escape from
remember.
reality.
Yeah, it was escape from reality. Except the next morning when I woke up, it was 20 times worse. So I had to drink more the next day to make it go away. And so I did that. And I had, I, you'd throw me off the show if I told you some stories from that time, but I'm kidding. But I was pretty wild. I had a good time. And I was working at Sears. I worked at Sears from the time I was like 16 years old until I was 24. So not, I got a lump sum retirement payment from when I left at 24 years old. I thought that was kind of interesting. I had invested, but I had a really cool boss, and he put up with a lot of nonsense from me, like me not showing up sometimes and coming in looking haggard and those types of things. And he had some conversations with me, uh, like a dad does with a son. And I remember I was working one day, and he and the managers, when the store would open, would always go to Burger King and get like a coffee. And I walked down to him and I said, "Can I talk to you for a minute?" And he goes, "Yeah, sure." So we're walking back, and I said to him, his name was Roger. I said, "Roger," I said, "I don't want to drink anymore." I said, "I feel terrible." I said, "I'm always sick. I mean, like, look at me. I'm shaking. I'm a mess." And he looks at me and he goes, "What's your mom's phone number? I'm going to call your mom and have her come pick you up." And he goes, "You take all the time you need, and you know, I'm here for you if you need anything." He said, "I'm very proud of you for coming up and saying that to me." He said, I've wanted this for you for a long time." So anyways, that's an angel.
Yeah.
That's he sorry.
An
Angel.
It's that patience. That's the biblical patience there, right? They,
Oh yeah.
you talk about, yeah. I mean, to be able to have enough patience to wait on the young man to come to you, like it's going to happen, but just keep praying. I'm sure he was praying for you.
Yeah.
That's
Oh yeah. I
saying,
bet. Yeah.
and to have that much patience, he knew it was going to come, and have that patience to wait for you to come, and okay, well, I'm here for you.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And
So
take those measures. Fantastic.
yeah. Yeah. So just a solid guy, obviously. So it was funny. So my mother takes things to the nth degree. So I had to go to rehab, right? She wanted me to go to rehab. So I'm like, okay. I'll go to rehab. So I get signed up for rehab, and it's an outpatient rehab. And like I go into this rehab session, and I'm sitting there. I stay for like the first 2 hour group session or whatever. And I'm sitting here going, and I'm thinking this to myself. I'm like, oh my God, this is what I could have become. I said, this is crazy. You're stealing from your mom and dad. You're beating people up and taking their money so you can get drugs. You do that. I mean, they're telling these crazy stories. And the person comes to me and like, do you want to share anything? I go, yeah, you people are all screwed up. I am not this bad. And I see what I could become. I don't need to be here anymore. I'm leaving. And they're like, no, you can't do that. So I left. I'm like, I can't. I mean, this is like, I mean, I hadn't stolen anything from anybody. I hadn't hurt anybody. And I'm like, but I see where it's going. So, like, literally, I stopped. I didn't need to go to rehab. I needed to go to rehab for 2 hours, and just like listen to these stories. And I'm like, oh my God, you guys are really messed up. And they're like, so are you. And I'm like, yeah, but not like you. I didn't mean to be rude to him or anything, but it was just, I'm like, I'm in the wrong class, guys. I need to be in I need to be in the beginner class. This is like the expert. And so anyway, I stopped, and it was good. I have a cocktail every once in a while now, just because I like the taste, but I don't, I have
You have a control over it.
yeah, like yeah. So anyways,
But I would imagine like after the first one or two, you go, okay, that stops now.
yeah.
Go,
Well,
why did you stop at 2? Well, let me tell you some stories.
like some guys, like I beat up my grandmother and took like her wedding ring and I'm like, what, dude? What did you do?
Yeah.
Why would you do that to your grandma? And so anyways, so I was fortunate enough not to need that, and I feel for the people that were there, but I couldn't sit there and listen to that anymore. It was crazy, the things that these poor people were doing, and I knew I wouldn't. I knew I wasn't at a point where I'd do that. So anyway, quit. That was right before I got out of college. Based on some of the things that we talked about, you can probably tell that me getting the heck out of Rochester, New York, was an urgent thing for me after being there. So I moved down to Florida pretty much by myself. And
So another culture shock.
yeah, but you know what? I moved there with a plan. I was going to become the person that I wanted to be, not the person that everybody expected me to be.
Yeah.
Right? Because there were expectations of people that I was going to be a certain way and act a certain way, and it was just easier to go and start over and be who I wanted to be, rather than try and change and fight through all the people trying to draw you back into it and that type of stuff. So anyways, Florida was at the beginning was very lonely. I think I was 24 when I moved there. But then I got a great job, really good company. Did very well. Was with that company for 24 years until I had my illness, which I know I've talked about in the past, but we'll talk about. And I met my wife there. I've been married to her. It'll be 29 years in November.
Congratulations.
Thanks. I appreciate it. That's an accomplishment.
Yes, it is.
It is. It's an accomplishment, and we don't hate each other, which is even better. I'm kidding. Um, so she's a very strong person, and carries a lot of the weight now. Unfortunately, I can't do as much as I used to. But anyways, so I guess we can move on to uh, the company I worked for. Was great at the time. I worked in an industry. I don't want to call them out because they still pay me. So you know what I mean. So I don't. But they were in a growing industry. It was fantastic. It was like a cash cow. And so I was really fortunate. Even during the downswings in the economy, it didn't affect us. It was it was it was we were just fortunate. And um, you know what? Let me jump back because this is an important part of me that I was able to fix. So when I was about 10 years old, I was a little fat kid because I hadn't grown up yet. So uh, I had a great uncle who was an alcoholic, and he was just kind of a mean guy. And he said, "Why don't you and your cousin race?" All right, I knew he was going to beat me. So, anyways, I'm about 10, maybe 11 years old. So we run this race. My cousin brushes me, and he looks at me. He goes, "Jim," he goes, "I hate to tell you this, man, but you're a born loser."
Hmm.
And like that stuck with me. So that negativity, that you're not good enough,
Hmm.
kind of stuck with me. And because I'd heard it before, right? It wasn't like it was the first time I'd heard it. Um, uh, but it impacted me, and kind of still does today. But I can overcome it now because I know where it's coming from. So I used to be driven by people that said I wasn't good enough or
Hmm.
that I couldn't do something. And boy, that made me very successful, but boy, that made me very unhealthy mentally,
Hmm.
right? Because I'm doing something to prove to somebody else. Like, who cares? Like now, like, who cares if you don't think I can do something, or you don't like, you know what I mean? I mean, but I mean, that drove me. And it drove me for a long time. And like I said, then that's not a healthy way to go about it.
Certainly not.
So no. So I figured that out probably into my mid 30s. And I started as a sales rep in a mall for this company. And um, in my mid 30s, I was a district manager of the northern part of Alabama. Um, and, um, so very, very successful, wound up. And none of this matters, by the way, right? The success, I mean, it's nice, but it's not the important stuff. But I went from starting, and people respect it, but I went from starting as a sales rep. I learned the business the whole way through, and I ran by the end of my time there, I ran operations for a standalone division of the company, that was very, very profitable. And so, but like I said, at the end of the day, put food on the table. and we did some good things, and I was able to take care of my wife and my daughter. And that's what that is. But it's not the measure of who I am.
Yeah.
It was for a while, right? You forget, and when you got the wrong thing driving you. But I've been able to put that into perspective, and that's a much more healthy place for me to be.
Absolutely.
So, I feel like I'm just rambling, but
this is your story to tell. So that's the whole me listening and you talking. Yeah.
Yeah. So then, very successful, enjoying things. My wife and I were married for about 5-6 years before we had our daughter. We weren't going to have a child, but then we decided that we were going to. Interestingly enough, 6 months into the pregnancy, I came down with an illness and almost died. I have a problem with my pancreas, and I had a really bad attack of pancreatitis, and I probably shouldn't have survived, based on some of the blood tests and other things. But I think I've told this story. You know this story.
Yeah, but
yeah,
for
I got to tell everybody. I know.
Yeah.
So I'm helping out. I was living in Alabama, in Huntsville, Alabama, and I was helping. There was a district that was open in Atlanta, and I was helping there. And so I was running 2 different districts. I was working about 100 hours a week. It was just going to be for a short time until they found somebody to take over. But that district was in a mess. So I was out with my HR rep. She and I were going to do visits, and I was great. It was a great morning. We had good interaction with people. She was being very supportive of me, and I was being supportive of her. Everything was great. Good day. Sat down for lunch, having a great conversation, and then she looks at me. She goes, "Oh my God, what's wrong with you?" So 1 second I was perfectly fine, and literally like that, I was the sickest I've ever been in my life.
Wow.
I don't know. And she could see it happen. But anyways, long story short, my wife's 6 months pregnant in Alabama, and I'm in a hospital in Georgia, and so she's not in the best part of Georgia either. I was in it was a rough area in the hospital that I was in. Like, my wife didn't tell me any of this, of course, until I got out, like 7 weeks later. So I was in the hospital for about 7 weeks. And so there were bullet casings in the parking lot.
Wow.
She saw somebody get stabbed on her way, like on her way into the hospital.
Wow. Crazy.
Yeah, it was. So, anyways, it was a terrible place, man. It was a terrible place. So I had a guy that I played soccer with. We had an adult soccer team. It was fun. He was a doctor. He was an orthopedic surgeon. So I called him up. I'm like, "John, I'm here. This is terrible. My wife is here. It's a horrible place." I'm like, "Is there any way you can help me get the hell out of here?" And so he called a friend of his who was gastroenterologist, and she basically took responsibility for me to travel from one place to the other, and I was able to get out of there, and I was able to get back home.
Praise God.
Yeah, thank God. He was another angel in my life. I mean, it's amazing how many you know what I mean? How many people that you run
Yeah.
into. Yes. Um, so that first night, they don't tell you how sick you are. Of course, they don't.
Right.
I didn't know I was sick. How sick I was. I thought I was going to like leave and go to work the next day. And
Yeah. They need you in
um,
that positive mindset so that your body
they
can,
do.
yeah,
Yes. Yeah. So
calm.
I'm laying in a room all by myself. It's dark. I've got machines beeping all around me. And I'm like, I knew I was sick after some time. And I just start thinking, and I'm like, oh my God, please help me.
Hmm.
I'm like, I'm like, I've got a child on the way. I, I mean, I can't, I need, you know, I need you to help me through this. And as I'm doing that, it was a priest. A priest walked in, and um, and he just kind of looked at me, and he's like, "What can I do for you?" And I just said, "I need you to pray for me." I said, "I have a daughter on the way. You know, my wife's 6 months pregnant. I got to get through this. I can't. You know, this can't be it." Hey, Cindy. And so he prayed with me. Uh, he he uh, he came back like a week later, and he said to me, "I'm so happy you're here." I'm like, "Where else would I be?" He said,
Right.
I didn't think you were going to make it. They didn't think you were going to make it." So anyways, so you know, that God decided that wasn't my time. He already knew that, right? I didn't know that he'd made that decision, but and so that priest was a blessing for me when he walked in, because I was, he helped me focus on what I needed to focus on at the time.
Yeah.
And
Prayer changes things, man. It does.
it does, yeah, no, absolutely. Believe me, I've experienced it. The Hey, Charles, how are you, buddy?
It's
Um,
Chucky.
yeah. So, anyways, this turned out to be kind of a permanent thing, and it's gotten worse as I've gotten older. Uh, I was able to work with it for about 16 years, which was good, but then it just got to the point where I was on so much medication to try and help with the pain that, like, I'd be driving down the interstate and I'd fall asleep
Mm.
on the way to work, and that quick you go
Yeah.
you go like, oh,
Yeah. Mhm.
and so I did that for about a week, and I said, I can't do this anymore. I'm going to end up killing myself. So um, I prayed about it. My boss actually came to me, which was another kind of funny thing. He's like, man, he goes, you've given it your all. He said, I think you may want to consider. And he said to me, he goes, I'll give you another job. I'll give you something that's less stressful.
Yeah.
But I'm like, no, I'm like, I can't do it. I want to, but I can't. It doesn't. He goes, you can work it. He was trying to make it easy for me,
Yeah.
but it was time. And I had my doctor, uh, who I'd had for quite a while and had seen me through a lot of this. He told me he thought I had worked about 2 years longer than I should have.
Mm.
So, um, anyways, so there's the next transition, right?
Yeah.
You go from being all out, 100%, uh, to what do I do? what do I do? What do I do with life? I mean, I was very fortunate to work for the company that I did. They gave me long-term disability. Um, I had that as a benefit. So that takes care of me for, through age 65. But, what do I do with my time? How do I impact things? How do I, these are all things that are, are working through my head. And, I was a fairly young guy at the time. I don't know, in my late 40s. And, so anyway, long story short, it took me a while to figure out what I wanted to do. And, one of the wonderful things that I learned about was basketball, right?
Yeah.
So I actually for like 6 years was able to coach our local middle school girls team. So I did that. That's how I reached out. That's how I was able to help. And I had, there were times where I couldn't be there because of my health, but I had somebody that, I had a great assistant coach. And then at the end, I got moved over to the boys team as an assistant coach. So I had a great head coach. So there was always somebody that could back me up. So there was no worries. And so that was very, very, very rewarding. I really enjoyed that. And I think I impacted some kids too in a positive way. So that was something that I was able to do. And then that ended. The principal left and went to a different school, and the principal that took over had a different mentality about things. So it wasn't a good fit for me anymore. But that was okay. That was okay. And that's when all this craziness started with my nephew, Jeff Thoughtcast, who was a truth teller when it wasn't so easy to be a truth teller, right? He did it, tried to do it on YouTube. They kicked him off. Tried to do it on TikTok. They kicked him off. And he found Rumble. And so the thing that I do now is I'm not in front of the camera a ton. I do it once in a while, but I do a lot of things behind the scenes. I'm very good at research. So if somebody wants to know something or wants to present something, I can put it in a format that gives them good information in a logical fashion so that they can share it on their shows. So I do a lot of deep research now for various different people. And I enjoy that. I think it's great. I love fighting with AI because AI is leftist liberal.
Yeah.
And I basically argue with it all the time and get what I want out of it.
Oh yeah. I know that there was a few times, seen Mr. John Goble, and him and I, when we were having to drive like from here to Oklahoma or something like that, we would get on with the AI, different AIs like Meta AI or like ChatGPT, and we talk the talking model, and we would walk it through the process of learning about Jesus, and then call out its fallacies, and then subsequently lead the AI to the Lord.
Yeah.
But then its memory wipes after a while, so you have to ask the same question. Okay, do you remember that Jesus Christ is in fact Lord? And it would go, I do not recall any such conversation. So you'd have to go back through and do the whole thing.
And do the whole thing again, yeah.
But it was always like, watching that logical next step.
Oh, it's hilarious. Yeah, it's fun. Like I'll ask it to, and it's funny because I use Copilot because it works with Microsoft Word and PowerPoint,
Yeah.
and it actually it builds the decks for me now. It builds the presentations. It does all the work. You tell it what you tell it the things that you want, and then it actually, and you got to look at it, right, because
Yeah.
it's not perfect, but it actually puts it in a beautiful format in PowerPoint for you, and so what used to take me probably like 5 or 6 hours takes me like 45 minutes now. So it's just, I mean, and you get what you, and like you said, it's, you have to teach it, like, I'll, ask it a question about, oh gosh, I'm trying to think. It doesn't really matter, but basically I'm like, why are all your sources leftist? Why is every source that you're providing me this answer with from a leftist institution? And then it'll come back like, I'm sorry, Jim, you're right. Here, let's then it changes. So it's not that you're manipulating it to give you the answer you want. You're introducing it to new sources.
Yeah.
I don't know if that makes sense or not.
Yeah, it
but
makes perfect sense. Yeah. I know with like Perplexity, you can get a pretty good balance there.
Mhm.
Like with Gemini, oh man, like because it's Google connected, right? So I'm surprised it's not going off right now because I said its name. But yeah, like it's like the farthest left leaning sources, and you ask it about that, you ask it that very same question, and it'd be like, no, there are sources are well balanced and well researched. And it's like,
No, they're not.
no, they're
I
not.
I forget what's the name of that. There's a group that rates things. It's 100% nonpartisan. Oh gosh.
Are you talking about
There's you
the
know
the news folks?
yes, yeah, the news folks. There's a group of literally progressives and conservatives that got together and rate. It's
I have that in my.
you know what I'm talking about?
I do. I'm chasing
Yeah.
it down right now. I'm trying to remember
Okay.
who sent that to me because we were looking at them as a potential sponsor.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember where that's at.
Yeah, but so that rates them, and so I tell the AI to use that to get the sources, and I don't want a one sided story. I want the whole thing. I want what everybody's saying, so I can put the pieces together.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So
And to find it, to find the most, to find like which one leans a certain way, or like so you can say, okay,
mhm.
this says this, but realize it's coming from
Yeah,
this tilt, this lean, this
and
whatever.
it's a really easy name too. I just let me ask it. Let me see if I can figure it out real quick.
Yeah,
Sorry, we're
well,
both on
I'm
our
doing the same thing. That's
computers.
why I'm looking through my chats because I had it sent to me by someone who was working with us to try to help us get sponsors and stuff. Ground news, ground news. That's news.
Thank you. That's Alter AI. All right, I've got it. Ground News. There's a different one. Hang
Okay.
on.
I was gonna say I really enjoy like because Ground News they have two different versions. They have their premium version, their free version, but the free version comes with a lot of benefits. Um, AC says he's one of the benefactors of your research.
Oh, AC. I love working with AC, man.
Yeah, he's fantastic, man.
He is. I love working with him because he brings me up to talk with him sometimes, and then sometimes he'll just do it on his own if I don't feel like talking because I'm not the front guy. I'm the back end guy. So news orgs, political leanings. All right, and then I'm going to let it go after this because I don't want you guys to.
But while you're hunting that down, as I say with Ground News, what they actually do is that they show you like news sources, and you can click on it. So it's like it actually has like a rating system. It goes from like left to right. And it's like
Yep.
an 8 point system, like how far left or how far right it goes. And then they have like the articles that are like completely objective. Like here, these are the center based articles, I guess is what you should call them.
Yeah, no, that's good. This is called the one I'm thinking of is called All Sides.
Okay.
All Sides, and that is a group of that. It's total all over the spectrum, and they do the same thing that you're talking about. They
Yeah.
talk about very liberal or very conservative, and those types of things. So that's what I tell AI to use is All Sides. The other one's Ground News.
Yeah. Ground News. Ground News is a fantastic one. That's what I would still have to go back and talk with them again. 'Cause I do believe that they'll end up being a sponsor over here at Revolver
That's
in the near
great.
future. I can't say 100% for sure, and I'm not calling out anything officially here.
No.
So if people go, you said like no, don't hold me to it. But there's a negotiation that always happens as most of you know. So
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So anyways, that's kind of what I'm working on now is the research is the research stuff. Trying to I don't know, trying to be more involved. Like last election, I was a poll watcher.
hmm,
So that was very interesting. Um, um, the things that you're supposed to do and the things that uh, we weren't poll watchers weren't allowed to do in 2020.
yeah,
That there's that there and so there's some crazy stuff, man. Like some of the things that and it's of course done different by county, right? So we don't have a national election. We have a state election, but the state election are run by counties. So some counties do things a certain way, and other counties do things other ways. So
no burst pipes on your watch though, right?
no burst pipes on my watch. No. And by the way, that wasn't a burst pipe. That was a plug toilet that shut
Yeah,
it down.
yeah.
That was a plug toilet to shut it down. Um, but yeah, Fulton County it's very interesting. Um, they're fighting to get their ballots back that the FBI took from them. So, but anyways, so the county that I live in did everything by the book. Um, from the start of I don't know. There's some type of oh, there's Steve. Cool.
Yeah, we
All
love
right.
Steve over here at
Oh
Revolver
yeah,
Podcasting. He's very active with our
yeah,
programs.
yeah. Steve's
Oh,
awesome.
yeah, also known as the breaker of things, also
The
known as
breaker.
the audio technician.
He's Steve will break some stuff.
Yes, he broke my stream Thursday morning.
Oh no, Steve.
He got blamed for it. It's not he didn't actually do it, but he got blamed.
No, I know. Steve gets blamed for everything, man.
He's got broad
But
shoulders and handle it.
yeah, he does. He sure can. But so that's kind of what that's those are kind of the things that I do now. I work on my relationships, which we kind of talked about. I didn't, have a real good baseline for those types of things. So there's a lot of, I still have a long way to go and a lot to learn, but I'm doing it and that's good. I'm working on relationships, not only with people, but with the Lord as well. Um, I, you guys gave me such a boost. Um, I don't know how long we've known each other now, but
About 2 years now. Yeah.
about 2 years.
Mhm.
It's been such a boost, and you've got me, thinking about things that I didn't think about as much before. And so, so I'm more focused on my relationship with God than I ever have been in my life.
Amen.
Yeah. And I feel like I'm in a pretty good place um, um, in my life right now. I'm comfortable. You know what I'm saying? Uh, but I'll tell you what, man. When I started digging in more when we met, it got hard, dude. It was really like there's some weird stuff that happened. I mean, it seemed like somebody didn't want me to do that. And,
Yeah, somebody who comes to kill, steal, and destroy will definitely
yeah.
try to stop
Ooh,
that.
yeah. It doesn't happen so much anymore, but yeah, that was, and I know you and I talked about it a few times, a few things that happened, and honestly, I don't even remember what they were, which is probably a good thing. I'm
Yeah,
glad I don't. But you know, I've moved. It's cool when you get older. Like you can't fit as much in your brain, so stuff that is you don't deem as important kind of goes away,
yeah.
and you don't have to think about it anymore.
Well, I can
So
attest to this too. The so we talked about this on Faith, Family, and Politics Friday night, but like the eyes being the window of the soul and stuff. But like if I go back to the episode where you were on with us for Faith, Family, and Politics and telling your story back then, um, there is a piece that I can see in your eyes now. Like before you ever even smile, um, what did that model lady say? She calls it smize because you're smiling with your eyes.
mm,
There's this joy that's in your eyes that it permeates before you ever even start talking. I can see it.
good.
It's different. So um, I think the things that you faced against was like it was kind of like your crucible, right? And then I was just sitting here thinking about that too. Is like, okay, you came out the other side of it now, and um, there's nothing can stand against. There's no weapon can form against. Because he's like, all right, that we talked about like the storm is beautiful when you have Jesus. We have the
Hmm.
t-shirts in the shop, right? It's like now you found that peace. You know, you realize it's like okay, like you said, I don't care what people think because I know where I'm
Right.
at. I know who's with me through all of it. So like to see that there's a different guy sitting next to me right now.
Well, good. I don't see it because I experience, but I'm glad. So cool. Thank you for letting me. I appreciate you letting me know that.
I just see it. Yeah.
Yeah,
There is you're it's lighter, brighter.
yeah.
It's
And it's funny, Josh, because when we talked before the show for just a couple minutes, I told you the storm I've been going through,
mhm.
and it's just you know smooth sailing. I've had um, I suffer from chronic pain with a couple of different things, and um, so my pain has been off the hook. I was telling Josh, my mother-in-law fell and broke her kneecap at 86 years old. So that's been quite the process trying to get her back up on her feet. And my daughter was ill and in the hospital for a little bit. She's great now. Everything's fine. Uh, and yet I'm calm. I'm not freaking out. I'm not losing my mind over anything because I'm confident that it's going to work out the way it's supposed to work out. And I haven't always been like that. I haven't always been like that. I've been somewhat of a maniac in certain situations, but like freaking out, like, oh, I need to fix this. I need to do. I can't fix any of it. I
Yeah,
can only do what I can do.
yeah,
So
and he's in control of the rest of it. We just have to
yeah,
let it be. Yeah,
yeah.
there's a peace in that. Just uh was it letting go, letting God? I know that's an old cliche thing, but it's also true.
Yeah, I always go back to the footprints in the sand. Um, there's been only one set a lot in my life, and that's okay. That's okay. That's what he's there for,
Yeah, I know
to help me,
that's
to help
AC's
me.
favorite too.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he talked about it, and I said, yeah, the two footprints where you're walking beside him, the one set of footprints where he's carrying you, and then so there's another part that they forgot. It was that part where there's like a draggy part there. That's where he dragged you kicking and screaming.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. But it's just I don't know. It's taken a lot of thought, a lot of work, a lot of prayer. Um, but I'm in a place where I don't know. I'm just living now, and um, I'm not so worried about everything all the time like I used to be. I'm not always looking for that thing that's going to come ruin everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Uh, I just you just deal with it because, like you said, you got somebody on your side, and this is happening for a reason. Um, Boy, I don't know why the Lord made me sick, or not made me, but you understand what I'm
yeah,
saying. Uh, had me go through the illness that I've had to endure, but it's made me. I think it's because it's made me a different and better person than what I was before. Um,
yeah. I think it comes with let's say I think we talked about this before, like the thorn in the side.
mhm.
You know, because I'm trying to remember which uh, um, apostle that was. Um, disciple that was, but they had the thorn in the side because he actually comes to the Lord and he's like, why don't we just remove this thorn in my side? Um, and remind him that that's what kept him focused on him,
Mhm.
and and made him better than what he ever could have been. And it's like the old adage that you'll hear in church from time to time, all the time. I talked about this once again on Faith and Politics, because people will say in church, you hear this, and you still hear this today. God will never give you more than you can handle.
Yeah.
And you gotta, if you hear somebody say that, if you can hear me right now, look them right back in the eye and say, baloney. Like double pack, Oscar Mayer baloney that you just fed me. And the reason I say that is because God will always give you more than you can handle because He wants you to lean on Him.
Right. Yeah. He wants. Yep.
Yeah, and so you had this adversity, but it readjusted your focus. It changed your perception, um, tuned you into Him. Maybe not always, but
Yeah.
that comes with the territory. I think. Paul,
Paul.
is it Paul, yeah. I should know that going through and talking about him right now in Book of Romans on Morning Word. Um, but yeah, things kind of. Um, yeah. The storm really is beautiful when you have Jesus, and so it's like, well, this broke, or this person got hurt, or this thing happened, but I got Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so there was this other story that my pastor's wife. She was here for an episode of Faith, Family, and Politics we had here in studio, and um, I was lucky enough to produce on that episode because it was all we had all females here, and for that episode, and she was telling about a story from that she had read in a book about this father that had lost his daughter to a car accident. Um, she had just turned 18 years old, and died in a car accident, and he's not anywhere near her. Finds out um, in a rather odd way, finds out that his daughter had passed, and his response wasn't, "Oh my God," and crying and just do any of that. He says, I thank God for the time I had with her.
Yeah.
I thank God that he understood the assignment, which was, and still is, it's not goodbye, it's see you later.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. That would still be very difficult for that to be your answer, but that's a ton of faith, dude. But that I have a, it's funny. And this is where, again, I think the Lord works through other people to help you. I played darts, and I used to be pretty good. I'm not anymore because I don't balance as well as I used to.
Yeah.
But I used to be pretty decent, and it drive me nuts because I'm like, I should be able to, I should be able to do this. And I had a partner. We played in a blind draw tournament where, they draw names out and you get somebody and they're your partner.
Yeah.
Yeah, AC, absolutely. I'm at the point that my life doesn't matter because God is working through me to save more people.
Mm-hmm. Cindy says that's her answer too.
That's awesome, man. So we go outside, and so I'm like, gosh, I'm sorry, I can't. And she goes, you're letting it bother you? And I'm like, yeah. And she said, can I tell you something? I'm like, yeah. She goes, don't worry about it. I'm like, oh, okay. And she goes, let me tell you a story about how you can look at things differently. And so and I remember this in the news. They were on Thanksgiving Day. They were driving on one of the Atlanta highways, and a tractor trailer barreled into the back of their. It was either an SUV or a minivan, and her daughter was sitting in the back seat that looks out the other way. And she was killed. And like, I'm like, oh my goodness, this is deep. And she said to me, she said, and the way I thought about it in the beginning wasn't the right way. And she didn't tell me how she thought about it. But what she said to me was to help me, like, this isn't important, dude. Get over yourself, She said, now I can't imagine if I wasn't there to hold her and comfort her as she died. She said she would have been alone. And I'm just like, that is a strong person that can do that. And I don't know, but that helped me go, like, what am I doing? Like, why am I acting like this? Why am I thinking this way? I said, this doesn't matter. Who cares? That matters.
Yeah. It's something we all have, this thing of self.
Yeah.
Right. Like, no matter how many times God has humbled us, like, a good friend, Bo, that comes in the live.
Yeah.
And he talked about it so many times that God had to, like, pound him into to literal dust. I mean, because there was, where when he had cancer, man, I mean, there was nothing. I mean, he looked like Walking Dead. I mean,
Yeah.
And this is a guy that's, always been full of life and just, always a little heavier, and
Sure.
yeah, and to see him just like this big around and look like the end, but he just said, okay, God, I see what you're trying to tell me. I haven't submitted enough. And he started repenting of all these different things and realizing things, and started really changing his whole perspective because of it. I mean, that's why you see him when he comes in and corrects Sterling or I in the live chat, which I'm so thankful for, is because he's already hit the being pounded into grist level, and I'm like, I'm going to learn from that guy. If somebody, so like, when you're talking about something you've been through, and then giving life advice of like, okay, hey, maybe that's not so important. You keep your perspective. I'm going to listen to you because you've been to that level on a consistent basis.
Yeah. It's funny. The other thing I do sometimes, and it helps me kind of keep the right perspective. But somebody it's kind of funny to me. But somebody said, "How are you doing?" Better than most, but not as good as others. So people had my upbringing was better than most, but not as good as some others. My going through my illness and those types of things, same thing. It's part of the process, and that sounded really cold. I didn't mean it to be, but it's just part of it, man.
Life is a process. It really is.
It is. Yeah, it's just part of it, and
Well, I know you mentioned we've talked about a lot about your faith, of course, and so like, where does God first get introduced into your life? I mean, was that like an early thing that like mom and dad still took you to church?
Yeah, I was in the church probably like 8 or 9 years old. We started going like every weekend. Or every Sunday, sorry. And so that became part of life.
And that was like grandma and grandpa take you?
No, that was mom and dad.
Mom and dad.
Yeah, mom and dad. And then after church, we go to see grandma and grandpa. But yeah, it was mom and dad, and and I don't know if I've told you this story, but there was the place where I lived when I was originally, the rural area. We had a minister out there who I really liked, and he actually came and moved in and was again a pastor at the church that we went to. He was the associate pastor. So it was kind of cool. He was a very familiar person. He was very good to me, very nice to me, good to my family, always very uplifting. And he gave a sermon, and he used some profanity in it, but you needed it to tell the story kind of thing. It wasn't like, he didn't go up there and lose his mind. It was part of the story.
More about direct quoting or things like
that.
Yeah,
something like, and again, this is a long time ago, so I don't remember. So he got run out on a rail. And so my parents like stopped going to church. So when they stopped going to church, I stopped going to church, right?
Yeah.
And so I think that was terrible what they did to him. But like running away isn't the right answer, right? You stick it out. You stick it out. And I could have probably made a different decision at the time, but so the church thing, and I remember who's the gentleman on Wednesday? Is it Wednesday night that you did the show with? Is it Danny?
Oh, Danny Tippett. It's Thursday nights when we
Thursday, sorry, when you can.
Yeah, he's going through a computer issue right now, but the It Makes Sense podcast with Danny Tippett.
Yeah, it was perfect because you guys talked about that, you know, how having problems in the church doesn't mean that you run away from the church. It means that you dig in and help fix it, help be part of the solution. And so, by the way, that's a great show. He's intense.
Yeah.
He's intense.
He's a lot of information. He's a wealth of information.
Yes.
And he's so quick with it.
Yeah.
Danny's
he
awesome.
is.
Yeah. If you guys haven't seen It Makes Sense podcast with Danny Tippett,
Yes.
I'm just there to kind of bounce things off of, but I'm just a sounding board for him. But yeah, when you get the chance to get to go back and watch those episodes.
Yeah, he's got a real sharp mind for things, and I've enjoyed that. So anyway, a little plug for you there for your Thursday night show. But yeah, so that was so God was early in life. The real, I guess, relationship started probably about 12 or 13. And, took a little break there through college, through the college years. And, started to work on it again when I got married. And so, working on it more than I ever have in my life now. Which I need to do. I got to make up for some lost time, but he's been with me my whole life. I at least that's how I look at it.
Yeah, I mean, definitely, he's carried you through so many hardships and difficulties, and I mean, shielded you from, by sending you to 2 hours of rehab, shielded you from a lot of mistakes that would have happened down the road, but didn't, because you heard like, oh, no, I'm good.
No, I'm good, man. That poor those poor people. You guys are. Yeah,
I had it rough, and then I met you guys. And
y'all are crazy. I'm not in your category. Oh, those poor people.
Little did they know you were on level 1. They were on like
they were like
expert level.
I mean, some of them were going to jail probably for the stuff, the stuff they did for a reasonable amount of time. When I heard the guy talk about how he beat up his grandmother and took her like wedding ring, I'm like, are you serious, dude? What, you hit your grandma? Come on. Oh, it's the drugs. No, maybe a little bit, but that's you. You did it. The heroin didn't do it. You did it.
Yeah, you got accountability, right? That's part of that. Program is accountability.
Yeah. So
I think that's part of that refining process too, right?
It is.
Is our ability to self-reflect and have accountability, not only unto ourselves, but when other people point it out. I know, like, I go back to like John, with myself. Like he like he said on Faith Family Politics, he's very sincere, direct is the word I would use. But he pointed out some things to me as a fellow believer, and he was like, I see this behavior in your life, and I think you should change it. I mean, just very like matter of fact, is you do what you do, but I see this.
Yeah.
And it made me think, it was like, oh, if my friend sees this, my wife sees this. And if my wife sees this, I'm not leading my household.
Yeah.
It changes everything, doesn't it? Like when you realize, like, I know you, because you have a daughter as well. It's like, what legacy, example, leadership are you showing her?
Right.
And it's like the Bible says, a good man leaves an inheritance to his children and his children's children. Not talking about necessarily financial. Financial is good if you can.
Yeah, sure.
Just talking about that legacy. What are you leaving with them? that wisdom, imparting to him.
Yeah.
Gnat that just keeps flying around my face. I don't know how I got it here, but yeah, the imparting of that wisdom is more than will do more for their life than any bit of financial means or otherwise could ever.
Yeah.
And just seeing you lead a certain way and denying denying Satan as was it James? Is it James or no? Is it, yeah, I think is it James chapter 4, I believe. Deny Satan, and if I'm misquoting, please correct me, but I believe it's James chapter 4.
Yeah, it's interesting because you're right. It's not. I mean, you'd love to leave him money, right? But you see the one thing when I was sick, like when I was sick before she was born, I asked to be able to raise her so she can and my life expectancy from the disease I had was about 7.5 years, and I've lived with it for 22.
Amen.
So I'm so appreciative, and I had a chance to help her grow, and I wasn't perfect, believe me, but she is a kind, caring young lady, and at 19 years old, she's out. She went 2 years ago. She's 21 now, but she's been out of the house for 2 years, supporting herself, and I mean, and she wants to do that. So, she's very self sufficient. So I know she can take care of herself because she's doing it. So,
and you imparted that wisdom of the Lord in her life.
yeah.
That's the most meaningful thing you could have ever and God kept you here for that. Guaranteed. Like not only your daughter, which definitely,
Mm-hmm.
but like even when you're just researching like the lives that you're impacting by pulling truth and putting it forefront, that is a purpose that is going. It just impacts so many lives, but particularly with faith, man. I mean, you sitting here and talking about your faith, talking about all the things that you've been through, and yet still say, I'm good. I'm not worried about what people think about me, and got my eyes on him. And yes, I still go through this, that, and the other, sure, but he's with me through it all, so
Yeah.
it's all good.
Yeah. Yeah. It is, and knowing that there's certain things I can control, but there's certain things that I can't, and you have to give those to somebody, and he's the perfect person to give those to.
Yeah.
He's a perfect person to give those to because he can handle it. He can handle it. I'm quite sure of that.
Nothing new under the sun, and yeah,
No.
he's dealt with it all for sure.
Yeah.
And it's certainly like you said, also like he continues to put those people in your life.
Yeah. I've had a lot of those people in my life, more than I can remember. But he does keep putting those people in my life. He also puts random thoughts in your mind about when you're going to do something stupid, and then all of a sudden, like a commercial for the Bible will come on TV. You know what I mean? I mean, it's sometimes it's just so perfect.
Yeah.
The timing. You're like, I don't feel like doing it. Okay, I better do it. It's just it's funny how things work, and how you're influenced by those things, and you can choose to ignore it, which I
Sure.
wouldn't do, or you can choose to take it for what it is. It's like, hey, dude, get back on the straight and narrow.
Yeah, it's like there's a guy that gets in our live chat over on YouTube. He's a good friend of the show, and he said that whenever because he confessed that he struggles with lustful thoughts, as most guys do, right?
Mhm.
But this is like a really like big pain point for him that he really like. Okay, I'm focused on getting this out of my life, rooting it out. And he says he kept praying for. He's like, God, I struggle with this. I want to give this to you. This is what I struggle with. I have engaged in it too many times, and this is what I struggle. And so he says, now what happens is, he goes, without fail, whenever I even had the thought about type engaging in those type of things, he goes, even the thought, all of a sudden, for whatever reason, a series of Christian songs just starts playing in my head.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm like, I can relate because like I can't tell you how many times I've thought about something like you talk about the stupid thoughts, just whatever whatever it is, fill in the blank here, and all of a sudden, I was listening to some lo-fi versions of Forrest Frank pre-show. Like that's the kind of thing. All of a sudden, it's like I'm about to have a good day every single day, and it's like,
Yep.
all right, I hear you, got it, message received. Don't do the stupid thing.
Yeah.
Holy Spirit's guiding me.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. So, and again, you can notice it or you cannot notice it, but it's there. It's there. And I think it's probably there for everybody.
Yeah. What you said like 12 or 13 was the time you really like said, okay,
Yeah.
Jesus, you're there. So like, was that that was the pivotal moment where you're like, okay, I recognize that I am a sinner and Jesus Christ is Lord of my life, regardless of.
No, that made me know he was. I I wasn't sure in my mind that he was real.
So that's knowledge of him, but
Knowledge of him,
yeah.
and yes, if that makes sense. And then, probably, I don't know, when I was early 30s was the you know taking him into the heart and you know and talking about my sins and asking him into my life and to help me. So I don't say it as eloquently as you do, but you got it down, man. It's
The
awesome.
sentiment's the
I
same.
love it. Yeah. So those things. Yeah, that was probably that was before I got sick, but maybe a couple years before. You know,
Yeah.
I kind of always, as I said, I had knowledge of, and I kind of always thought he was there, and I did pray, and I thought I had a relationship, but it changes. It changes. So I think you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Yeah. Just like your basketball game, you developed it.
Hmm.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And then there's always that pivotal point where like everything starts to click and it's like, okay, look at all this, how natural this is. You talked about like here, in recent years, look how natural this is, this peace, this ease of no matter what comes my way, I'm just content with it.
Yeah. You may get the initial. I may give an initial reaction,
Yeah, the
but then
human
I'm
thing
like,
to do.
okay,
Yeah.
yep,
I think a lot of young people, well, people in general, I'll put it that way, struggle with that too. That the idea that you can just be at peace with life. I've had several conversations with someone very close to me and I say, you just need to be at peace with it. But this, but that, and they start listing off all these things. I'm like, no. Be at peace with it. But yes, those problems will still be there whether you're at peace with them or not.
hmm
So you could either be at peace with them and know that you don't have any control over it, or you can continue complaining and see how it works out for you. Because who is
yeah,
it helping? That's the other question to say. Say, who is it helping that you list off X, Y, and Z, other than a communication tool? Okay, we communicated, this is a problem. let's work on solutions to fix it. I'm all for that.
Yeah.
But when it's bring it up just to bring it up over and over again, and then go, well, this is what do we do? Whatever will we do?
Yeah.
What do you mean? Whatever will we do? That's not in our control.
Yeah. No, well, you know, you're right. You're right. There's certain things that you can control and certain things that you can't. I mean, and you know, the toughest one for people to learn in my mind is that people are going to do what people do, and you can't you can influence, but you can't control what somebody else does, man. You can't make them do the right thing for themselves, or you know, that's their choice. And you know, you might get disappointed, maybe that's not the right word, uh, but you might feel for them, but it's on them, not like it's
Yeah.
not on you. You can't. And people, that drives some people crazy. You know what I mean, that they, you know, that they can't. It's like my father said to me one time when I was I don't know, probably like 19 or 20. He looks at me, he goes, I keep telling you what the right thing to do is. He said, I've experienced it, I know. I said, but yeah, man, I got to learn on my own. I mean, your experience doesn't help me. And he just looked at me and kind of walked away. But,
Yeah.
you know, I mean, it makes sense, right? I mean, just because, yeah, sorry, Dad, you're probably right. But at the end of the day, I've got to figure it out on my own, just like you did. You know, we all do. And if we don't experience those things, then I think that's what's happening in society. We shelter people from certain realities that they really need to grow up to be healthy,
Mm,
you know?
absolutely.
Yeah. So,
Well, yeah, they're taught from a young age nowadays.
mhm.
You need to be concerned with these specific things
Yeah,
and realize that these specific tragedies, but ignore all the other things. And as a matter of fact, you're going to get a trophy in life for everything.
right. Yeah. Yeah.
Mm,
No, not so much.
and then
Not so
no
much.
wonder anxiety and depression is off the charts for young people
Yeah.
because they never experience true adversity.
No. You know, it's interesting, and the the smartphone had, you know, is a huge cause of stress for these poor kids. I mean, think about it. When we were in school, if somebody was picking on you, it ended when you walked out the door, right? Now it doesn't end. Now it's all the time, and they can get to you in different ways, and you know, so not only do they not have the skill to deal with it, they have to deal with it more often than we ever did. I don't know if that makes sense or not, but I think it does.
No, that makes perfect sense.
Yeah. So it would be tough to be a kid now. I would, ooh, I couldn't do it.
Yeah, I know I experienced some the bullying thing in elementary and middle school, especially middle school.
Mhm.
Uh, so yeah, and then you had to, but they learn to defend yourself, and then
Yeah.
that changes the game. Was it like with bullies? Once you stand up, you can defend
Once
yourself.
you hurt somebody,
Yeah.
once you hurt somebody once,
Well, even if you don't win, you know,
yes, yeah,
you
yeah,
still they're like, oh well, they fight back, so I'm not going to mess with them
yeah,
anyway.
right,
Yeah, there's just no point.
yeah. They
And
pick, yeah,
these young people nowadays, they don't have that. They don't even have the capability necessarily to fight back because, like you said, it's constant
yeah,
because they go out the doors and then there's still the social media and everything else, and it's they're sending mass text to all these kids at school, and they're yeah uh
yeah. It's crazy the stuff that they have to deal with, but you know, as parents, um, we we hold bear a lot of that responsibility. You know, we um, it's funny. I actually wrote you know what Suno is, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I wrote a song about my generation, Generation X, and the interesting things that we dealt with, and kind of one of the things that one of the things that I talked about. Of course, my dog's over here bothering me, so I'm going to forget. But one of the things that I talked about is we tried to protect you by hiding you from things that you should have seen, because we saw things that we didn't want you to have to see. So I don't know if that makes any sense, but
Yeah.
we grew up, like I grew up. There's a lot of really like bad things that I mean, like how many I remember when I was there, or where I was when that happened. Moments we've had a lot of them, man, too many. And so I
being
think
a millennial or an elder millennial, I experienced a lot of that
sure,
stuff.
absolutely, yeah. I mean, I remember, I remember where I was when, and I was a young kid, man. I was with my grandfather watching the news when they killed the Israeli wrestling team in Berlin. That was the first, like, how old was I? That's 72, right? I think that was 72. I'm pretty sure that was. And so I was 4. And I've already remember,
Yeah, 72 Summer Olympics.
Yeah. So I was 3.5, 4 years old when that happened. And so then we go to, the helicopters being pushed off the ships, leaving Vietnam. Then we go to the Challenger explosion. We had some good ones too, like the Berlin Wall coming down. So
Mr. Gorbachev, tear down that wall.
Yeah,
great communicator.
Yeah, he was. Yes, yes. So I think that some of the things that we saw made us. And by the way, I'm not this person. I explained all this stuff to my daughter. I talked to her about it, but we try and do. I know people that try to shield them from things, and on one hand, I understand why they do it, but on the other hand, it hurts their development, I think, over time.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying you share everything, Josh, but
yeah, you certainly don't start off with the Oklahoma City bombing.
No. Yeah.
You'll end up with a kid like Dewey from Malcolm in the Middle or something.
Yeah. But anyways, so hopefully, hopefully the younger people seem to be that newest generation seems to be wanting to go back to traditions and those types of things. And I think for a culture, I think for a nation, those are important things.
Mm-hmm.
I think those are important things. Otherwise, you lose your identity, which I think is all part of the master plan, right?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I mean, well, recently we watched the nation be rededicated as one nation under God. I mean, I watched that whole thing. I don't know if you watched it on that, but I was like, yeah. I'm watching this. Chris Tomlin come out there and sing and everything. But that day of prayer and supplication and turning this nation back to God, man, there's something special about that. I think it's because like I know our president talked about like living in a golden age and but that to me right there, it's a pivotal point.
Oh, hang on one second. Oh, sorry, my dog, my poor dog. She fell. She was digging herself a little nest on the sofa, and she fell. Poor thing. Come here. Come on. She's all freaked out. Look at her. It's like she got stuck between the sofa and a table. So
like,
I'm like,
from my end, it's like, is he experiencing an earthquake right now?
Like she finally fell through it, but I'm like, oh no. This one here, this is she never leaves my side. She never leaves my. This is Naomi. She's always with me, or she's unhappy. Here, we can see her, but maybe we can see her a little bit better tonight. I think there she is.
Yeah. Okay.
Hi, say hi, Naomi. Good girl. She's like, put me down, Dad. All right, there we go. Sorry about that.
Cindy said live TV, folks.
Yeah, live TV.
Yeah.
Do it live.
To quote Bill O'Reilly.
We'll do it live.
I don't know if you've ever heard that whole little.
Oh, I have. Yeah, that's great.
That's why
Poor thing. I can't. She's digging herself a little nest, being, and then all of a sudden she loses it. I'm like, oh no.
Oh man, animals bring such joy, though, don't they?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
I know we're pivoting from one to the next, but yeah, they really do. I got two of them here.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting how the comfort that dogs, for me in particular, brings. We've had, since we've been married, 24 dogs. And my wife was a coordinator for one of the pug rescues down here in the South. So we had pugs mostly. Interesting little guys. They're funny, but they have a lot of they shed like there's no tomorrow, and they have a ton of medical issues with their breathing, and then their backs and legs, and so Naomi is a Havanese. She's a Cuban. She's from Cuba. And
she escaped communism to come be with you.
Yes, she did. She escaped communism to come be with me, and they're the most unique dogs I've ever been around. They find one person. We have 3 of them now. By the way, in order for us to have 24 dogs, we had a hell of a lot more than 3 at a time. Most of our lives, we got up to 9 once. I agree, Cindy. They are God's gift to us.
Absolutely.
The unconditional love that you get from them. But the Havanese are unique. They have hair, so they don't shed. You do have to cut their hair. Have them groomed. They're hypoallergenic. And the cool thing about them is they choose one person. So that dog is it's attached to you at the hip. My wife has the other 2 are, she's got one on each hip. But
it sounds like they'd be great service dogs.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. So anyway, I don't know. She's perfect for me now. She keeps me, she keeps me in line. Like, hey, get up. It's time to feed me.
Yeah, that's how my 2 are. I know that, I talked about it on Morning Word. Like, I laid down about 4 a.m. this morning when I came, or a little after 4 a.m., maybe 4:30. Anyway, and right at about an hour and a half of laying there, I hear the right here in my face, and that's Presley, my golden retriever. And I'm like, what is it, buddy? And he's like, ready to go outside, Dad. Let's go.
Yeah, let's go. Get going. Otherwise, you got something to clean up later. Right?
Yeah.
If only I could find a husband like that.
That's funny.
No doubt. Yeah.
Well, they're great. Yeah, dogs are great listeners, so I could see where she could make that connection. And very loving. Yeah, but his emotional intelligence is like, because it's a golden retriever thing, so he's very silly and he wiggles a lot. And one of the things that we do during morning word is if he's down here, he's next to me, he'll bring his stuffy to me, which is another golden retriever thing. And I'll take the microphone off the holster and I'll put it right in front of his face, and you'll hear him.
That's the other thing pugs did. They snore when they sleep. So yes, I get it. Absolutely.
Yeah, he does that whenever he's got his stuffy. So I just find it so cute and funny. And
does he? That's funny. Yeah. I have a video that I want to send to you if I can find it real quick.
Oh, sure, yeah.
While we can keep, but it's of one of my dogs. It'll be of. Oh, there it is. There it is. So there will be Naomi. Let me send this to you. Hang on. Naomi, who you've already met. And then Oliver. Discord.
Got it. Yeah. And yeah, my other one, of course, I believe you've seen on camera before, Journey.
Yeah.
Yeah, the German Shepherd. She's our princess. She's a resident princess of the house. She's very vocal. So you're like, if she wants to do something, she's like,
yeah.
Funny.
It's just a little 14-second clip, but you'll get this will tell you about it.
I just started on my end. Let's see if we can get back up here. Okay, yep. Share the screen.
Oh, I threw you a curveball, didn't I? Sending you one.
Oh no, you're good.
All right.
Look at that.
Yeah.
I believe this. Oh wait, let me double check the sound is on, because the sound turns off automatic, and I don't click the other little tab there. Now, okay, now it should play with sound.
All right. He's trying to get her to play.
Come on, let's go.
Look at him. Then he catches me. Videoing him and
like, wait, you're watching?
And he does that all day. Like he does that. He's on his back 2 feet with the paws going up and down, trying to get your attention. It's so funny. Oh Lord!
Oh my goodness!
I know this wasn't supposed to turn into a dog show, but it's perfect. It's perfect.
Oh my!
No!
Goodness.
Did we lose me there?
Just temporary. Because now you got me wanting to share one of my dog's videos. I think I got
please
recently here. Let me see if I can
he's
hunt it down.
Yeah, he's a character. That one. He's wide open all the time. He doesn't.
I would show one with Journey watching that canine patrol show, because she loves Jim Belushi. Because of the movie Canine, and then it's like every time he's on TV, she just goes nuts.
Yeah,
but I know that I'll probably get copyright hit for that.
Really? That's too bad.
But this one's good. This one, they're out there going after the basketball. Journey's obsessed with the basketball. Let's see who. Go here, window, that one.
There we go.
Get ball.
Like, come on, let me get it.
She has several basketballs.
That's funny.
She's waiting for me to kick it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Now they're gonna
Nice catch. Yeah.
I'm not allowed to have grass. They
Yeah, they don't let you have grass. I understand.
yeah, they wear the grass out.
It's so fun to watch them play.
They're something else. These two.
Yeah.
It's like an actual brother and sister. You know.
Yeah. That is funny. Oh boy. So
yeah, there's one. I don't think it's like buried, but there's one video of old Presley. He got up on the couch, and he does this quite often actually. But he got up on the couch and he does this thing where he slams his face down onto the couch, and then he rolls over and puts his feet up in the air, and then he spreads his legs out like this.
yeah,
His face will be flat back on the couch, and his tongue's hanging off to the side.
that's funny.
And
he's the happiest guy in the world.
Yeah, happy dog.
Yeah, he's the happiest guy.
What are you doing? And he'll just like turn, and his tongue's still hanging over there. Oh my goodness.
That's great. Love it.
So much joy, man.
Yeah, there is. I mean, you know, that's I think that's what we have to focus on are the good things. And sometimes our minds get wired incorrectly, and we focus on the, kind of on the wrong things. But it's been a journey, as those of you that have been with us have heard. It started out a little rocky, but I think we're getting there.
Yeah.
Just keep plugging away at it, and look for the good, and have some fun and enjoy life.
Definitely. If you guys want to check out some of the content that Darmak does put out, the link is in the description below.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, I made sure and add that in the description right there for you guys. So it's a fun time to watch. I know that he's talking about being behind the scenes a lot, but when he is on camera, he's fun.
Yeah, it's interesting, and we talked about it a little bit, but we do a Rumble baseball league. It's a Rumble streamers baseball league, and we play each other on stream, and it can get a little rowdy when we play. For those of you that know Charles, G2G Gaming, he and I will be playing next Friday in the championship game. We made it through the playoffs and are gonna face each other, and quite frankly, he's gonna beat the living what out of me. But that's okay. I'm good with it.
You never know. You might be that small school that.
Oh, I don't think so. He's really good. He's really good. But that's okay. That's okay. I'll take first loser. Ricky Bobby, right? First loser.
You ain't first, you're last. Yeah.
Ain't you first, you're last. Yeah.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
You had him on.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You had Charles on.
Sure,
and so everybody, he's the genuine article, man. I've known him for a few years now through Rumble, and actually had the honor of meeting him at a what I can't remember what it was called. It was one of the gaming conventions, and so had a chance to meet him, and met his wonderful son. So good people, a lot of good people on Rumble. I mean, we could make a list of them, but Charles would be towards the top with the angry Republican. I mean, conservative. Gets a little testy when you call him that.
I love teasing on AC, man. I love
Oh yeah,
he,
yeah.
but he's such a good guy. He's able to laugh
Oh
with
yeah.
it. Not
No,
he
no,
doesn't get.
no. He's good. Yeah, yeah.
He's good stock.
He is good stock. Yeah, he is good stock, and he has an interesting story as well. He's he's a you know he's got an interesting story as well, as I guess we all do, right?
Yeah, yeah, and we had AC here for a hangout as well, and
Hmm.
um, yeah, if you guys haven't got a chance to see either one of those hangouts, definitely go back and watch
Yeah.
and hear their stories. Lots of ups and downs, just like tonight, and um, but it's something you like as you continue to see some of these episodes, like you should watch people going through all this adversity and coming out the other side, and it's like, oh, they're still living, they're still breathing. You should find hope.
Yeah.
I would say.
And, it's interesting. There's different. You can react to things in different ways, right? So I had two brothers that grew up with me that went through some of the same stuff. I saw. I don't know if I got it the worst. I saw different
Mhm.
than the other two did because they came later. But then they saw different than me. But I've reacted to that differently than some of them. So it's a hard thing to forgive.
Mm.
But when you forgive, it's almost selfish because you let I, I don't know how to it's for you. It's not necessarily for them, even though it might make them feel better. Um, it's so that you don't have to carry around that stuff and have it affect your life. And, I've seen that drag people down and it's terrible. And it dragged me down for a while,
Mhm. Yeah, well, it
right?
certainly will. It weighs on you, and I found that like 9 times out of 10, they're not even thinking about what you've.
No, they don't care. They're not thinking about it. They forgot.
Mhm.
You're all offended by something they said or something they did, and they're like, "What are you talking about? I did that. I said that. Or really? No, I wouldn't have done that." So,
And it's not even so
but
much a denial as just like that was yesteryear, and
yeah, or that right? Yeah, that just happened. Oh well, did the best I could. I've heard that a lot. That's always my favorite. you know, you get the kid come out of the game. Hey man, need to hustle a little bit more. When I was a basketball, gotta hustle. Come on, let's go. Hey, I did the best I could. Oh no, don't say that. Please don't say
yeah,
that.
asking you to improve, and like that's the best I got.
Yeah, that's the best I got. No, don't do it. But
Like, well, I hope you like warming the bench.
yeah. And yeah, no, I don't want to talk to your parents after the game.
It was like, are the scouts here for me, coach? No.
No. By the way, there aren't any scouts here. Um, I honestly, I've had I've coached a couple of, I coached a guy that played in Europe for like 16 years. Great, really good kid, really good basketball player. Then I coached a kid that was played at Memphis for John Calipari, and played. And then I had the best one I had of all was this young lady. I think she's a senior this year in college. She was amazing. I would clear
Thought you was gonna
every.
say the best one I had. She was out of Iowa, and
No, God. There's some of that in this other young lady though. There really is. But she doesn't have the confidence that Caitlin Clark does. But I loved it. They used to go man to man on us, and I just say, okay, the other four of you get on the other side of the court. Go stand on the other side of the court. She's going to go to the basket, get fouled, or score, or both. And if they collapse, then you just go to the box there, and she'll hit you with a bounce pass for a layup. I mean, they go, man. It was funny. She was such a good player, so unselfish, and she was full of faith. Definitely, her family was awesome. I actually went to church with them a couple times. So, yeah, but that was fun. That was fun seeing what those guys do and gals do after they leave you.
I know one of the things that you're working on right now, with the of course the baseball league, the streaming. What excites you about the future?
What excites me about the future? I think that things are starting to go from insanity back to reality for us in the country. And I am excited to see us come together as people. I want us to get past where, it's kind of like Charlie Kirk said, when people stop talking, there's violence, and we're seeing that, right? We're starting to see that. And we've seen it for a while, actually. Not even starting to see it. We've seen it for a while.
Yeah, quite a while.
But I think the truth is starting to come out. I think there's more ways that it can get out. And so I feel like we have an opportunity to come together. Now, there are going to be some people that don't want to come along, and that's fine. But I think man, back in the 80s and early 90s, and even in the early 2000s, we were, we disagreed about things, but we didn't accuse the other side of being Hitler.
Yeah.
For goodness sakes. And I think that by people doing that type of thing, they're offending people's intelligence, and I think it's starting to come. I think people are starting to realize, more people.
Yeah.
And so I'm hoping that grows into a movement so that we can get back to being, the greatest, the greatest experiment in the world.
Yeah. Yeah. True. Well, people seeing that we are in fact the greatest experiment in the world.
Correct.
Yeah. And I think I agree with you there. I think that something that happened here it's happening here right now, actually, is these folks coming from other countries coming here for the World Cup.
Yeah.
They
love it.
Yeah.
They love it.
They're like, oh, America's not just like coming at you, pew, pew, pew. Like,
Mm-hmm.
Certainly we have fun with those, but
Yeah.
but that's not what it's not like the action. They think it's going to be like the action movies or what they heard about on the BBC or Al Jazeera. And then they're like, people are so polite and look at all these choices. And it blows their mind. They go to the grocery store and they say, look at all the different choices.
Ranch dressing.
Yeah, dude, ranch dressing.
Dude, they're getting in trouble because they're trying to take ranch dressing back to Europe with them on the plane, and the TSA guys are like, I gotta take your cans. Sorry.
You can only take that. Was it 8 ounces of it?
Yeah, something like that.
So they have to get one of those like little shower bottles or whatever to put it in there.
Oh, I don't. Is it even 8 ounces? I think it's like 3.
Oh, is it 3?
Yeah.
I wonder if what they could do is like just get a bunch of those little bottles and then just like spread it out.
That's crazy, dude. But yeah, no, I think you're right. And I mean, you're starting to see changes in Europe. So I think we're starting to, we're not, the Western civilization and culture isn't perfect. It leaves a lot to be desired, but I'd certainly rather live like we do than like a lot of people do in the other parts of the world. I hear about dictators and authoritarian and all this other stuff, and like, dude, if he was a dictator, you'd be in jail or dead.
Yeah. Yeah. You wouldn't be allowed to be marching in the streets,
No.
blowing your whistles and wearing your nose rings.
Yeah. I mean, in Iran, 36,000 people were killed like in a week. I mean, that's insane.
Yeah.
So,
Unfathomable for us.
yeah, it is. And AC brought up on his show he was talking about Tiananmen Square,
Mm-hmm.
and that those two things are very, very, very similar, and those are two very authoritarian governments. I mean, and people think that people want Iran to defeat us. So and I just and they live here, and I don't understand, but
Yeah.
I think it's stopping though, Josh. I think we're going to get a hold of it.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think that enough rocks are turning over now, and enough people are hungry for the truth that they're going, okay, where do I go? And you find shows like stuff we have over here at Revolver, stuff like Thoughtcast, stuff AC, dispersing that truth, and they're going, okay, I found what I needed to understand. Somebody's asking the right questions, and now my eyes are opened. The Nick Shirleys of the world going out there and really changing that tide, showing the sins that are still happening here, and turning that over. So yeah, dude, definitely agree with that. To be excited about what comes next for this country for sure.
Yeah.
And
because we have been a force for good in the world. We've done some bad things, but we've been a force for good mostly, I think.
Yeah. Mostly.
There's an important part for that, but
yeah. And then so I got two questions left for you.
Sure.
One of those two is if you were to give advice to everyone watching and listening right now, what would be the biggest piece of advice that you could give to everyone?
All right. So there's this, and I have to do this to myself, and I used to have this on my desk. There's this, I don't know if it's a poem or a saying or whatever it is, and I'm not going to remember the whole thing, but it goes something like, life is 10% what happens, but 90% of how you react to it. Mm-hmm. So in other words, keep things into perspective. Understand that while something may seem like right this second, it's catastrophic. It could be horrible, but how you react to it initially and then over time will really determine, I guess, how things wind up and how you look at it and how it impacts you. Your attitude and your focus really matters. And I'm not one of those people that say, ignore bad things that happen to you. No, don't do that. But keep your reactions, I don't know, about, don't overreact, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Yeah.
Give a good measured reaction as a
Yeah. It'll help you keep your mind clearer and keep focused on the things that you should be focused on.
Yeah. Yeah. You just made me think of a perfect, a little example of that. And it's, like it's a story that a buddy of mine told me about him with his son. His son was, at the time, was a toddler, and his son's running up to him. He's like, "Dad, Dad, Dad." Now they're on blacktop. The kid's wearing shorts. See where this is going.
Mm-hmm.
But bump, right?
Yeah.
Son. End over end too. And so he immediately has this surprised look on his face, but he doesn't react yet. The kid does.
Mm-hmm.
And my friend said, in that moment, I said to myself, he's looking to me for a reaction to see how I'm going to react,
Mm-hmm.
and he's going to act accordingly.
Yeah.
And it was, "Oh, hey, buddy, let's go. Let's get up and keep moving on." He didn't start crying.
Mm-mm. No.
Now he had some scraped knees and a
Sure.
little scratch.
Yeah.
But nothing was really, like, really bleeding or anything. Just nothing serious. And just walk back towards the house. No big reaction. Took care of it. Got the Band-Aids, all the things. But there was no, like, "Let me kiss your boo boo." Didn't need any of that, because the kid thought nothing of it, because the reaction was, "Hey, all right, let's."
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
What you said was, like, how we react. It affects others too.
It does. Yeah, it does. It does. And I needed that on my desk because I used to be everything's a disaster.
War alarm.
Which made me pretty good at my job, but wasn't real good for me or anybody around me. But so yeah, I think that's a good one. And my grandfather gave me that saying, so it means a lot to me.
Yeah, it's a good one. It's a good one. Great advice. Fantastic. And then, of course, my last question, being, and you're pretty familiar with this one from watching the other hangouts, is you've told your story, or at least a big hunk of it. And if we were to put a leather bound cover on your story and call it a book, what would the title of that book be?
That's a good one. Perseverance. I think one word's fine. Perseverance. Being able to take everything that comes at you, and with a lot of help, being able to still be there through it all, and not worse for the wear.
Yeah. Perseverance. Great word. One of the stones, by the way, one of the 12 stones. You just remind me of something too with that. I haven't posted any of it yet, but something we're partnering with over here at Revolver Broadcasting is The Wilderness Way. I don't know if you're familiar with Paul and Vicky Taylor.
I've seen him on your show once or twice, I believe. Yeah.
Paul's a fantastic guy. But The Wilderness Way is really, really cool, and perseverance is a big one. It's hitting me in the face right now, because it's like that's a word that's meant a lot to me in the past couple of years too. So
yeah,
great title, man. I would buy that book tomorrow.
Thanks. Maybe I'll write it one day.
Yeah.
Who knows?
I think the day will come, and it'll just like with this, it's going to impact a lot of lives, man, for sure. And so thank you for being here, man. Thank you for doing this. I know I've said this before, but it takes a lot of courage to come on here and tell your story, to be willing to be vulnerable, and parse out your wisdom is a position of, although it looks like vulnerability, it's strength. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. So thank you for being here and being willing to put it all on the line and hang out. And
well, thank you for having me. I appreciate it. I always appreciate you, and you're. I don't know. You've impacted my life, so I appreciate that. We'll leave it at that for now.
Glory be to God, brother.
In a good way. Yeah, in a good way. Yeah.
He brought us together for a reason, for sure.
Yeah.
I will remind folks that we do have some upcoming things here with Revolver Broadcasting. So if you haven't already, guys, do thank Darmak for being here in the chat. Just like let him know how much you enjoyed listening to him. But coming up on this Tuesday, guess who's going to be hanging out with me? None other than Devin himself, the Mischief Muggle. Mischief Muggle will be here on Tuesday for the hangout. It's going to be something, man. He's actually over there streaming right now. So for those who are on Rumble here shortly, you guys will get rated out to get to talk with him a little bit in his chat, and
cool.
Make sure you say hello to him. And of course, Monday through Saturday, 9 a.m. Eastern, there's always morning word. And of course, Friday nights, we have Faith, Family, and Politics. And if Danny Tippett's able to get his computer up and running, pray for that to happen, and hold a charge, then when we will be having another It Makes Sense podcast on Thursday night. We're trying to just do more and more content for you guys all the time, and trying to improve. So if you have any suggestions as how we can improve, do send them over in the email. Send them over in our Discord. We want to always be getting better and better for you guys. And as you know, as always, I tell you guys to stay in trouble. And some of you are wondering why is this guy? We're talking about Jesus. Because if you have Christ in your hearts, you will in fact be in trouble with the world. The world doesn't want you living under His grace. That's your salvation first and foremost, and I pray that each and every one of you has that. I really do. The world doesn't want you reading His Word, having a relationship with Him, praying to Him. And it definitely doesn't want you going out and doing something so dangerous as telling others about Him. But I want to encourage you to do all that anyway. Stay in trouble. Jeff, I'm looking at you, brother. G2G, look at you. AC, I know you're over there off streaming already, but you'll see this on the recording, I'm sure. Love all you guys. And for those of you on Rumble, have fun getting rated out over there to Mischief Muggle. And the rest of you, we will see you Monday morning, 9 a.m. Eastern. Morning Word.
Thanks, everyone.